This episode is rated M for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of the PFC Entertainment Network or any of the affiliates that make this show possible.
This is the Pure Fury Creations Entertainment Network.
This is Creepy Soup on the PFC Entertainment Network.
Hi, and welcome to episode 152 of Creepy Soup on the PFC Entertainment Network. I am Jill.
I'm her Hump Trophy.
And with us today we have Matthew's sister Sammy and Matthew's cousin Megan. And they are joining us today as we have made it clear we are very passionate, words are hard. We're very passionate about missing person cases because we want to bring as many people home as we possibly can. And that is why Sammy and Megan are on today. They have a loved one that is missing, and we invited them on to share their story. So take it away, ladies.
Okay, so my brother went missing March 9th, 2023. The last that any of our family members have heard from him was March 7th. He was just messaging everyone asking for money to get places and go around town and stuff. So we didn't think anything different because that's just what he did. And then nobody heard from him the rest of the week. And then by Saturday, somebody was like, something's up. We need to get a hold of Matthew. We can't get a hold of him. So I personally reached out to Kylie, which is Matthew's girlfriend at the time. And they were living together in California, PA. And she wouldn't tell me what happened straightforward. She was really short with me. She wouldn't tell me the story. She just kept telling me that my brother screwed her over, supposedly was taking her car without her knowing and stuff like that. So she was just upset. And she just finally got 4 hours into a conversation. She finally said, I dropped him off at a cemetery and I haven't seen him since. And that's all she gave us. So then we're like, okay, what do we do? Where's this cemetery? So she finally told me the name of the cemetery. I sent my dad the next morning to go up there. He said there was no fresh graves. There was nothing around. The family did a foot search. We tried to do a missing persons Sunday. This was all Saturday that we got a hold of Kylie. And the police would not take the missing persons. They refused. They said that we need to wait. It wasn't worth doing that. So after that, we did a foot search the following Saturday in California and at the cemetery, and the following cemetery next to the cemetery he went missing. It was all family, no cops, nobody helped us. It was cold. I literally had a baby 5 days prior, C-section. And I'm walking around in the woods looking for my brother.
We were on private property. A man came down and confronted me on private property, asked what we were doing. We were in dangerous situations where we could have been shot at here. And Don't forget, Sam, that whole day, Saturday leading up to that, Sammy or Kylie and the other girl were on his phone pretending to be Matthew, posting on his Facebook, posting on his Snapchat stories, saying just weird stuff, and that just kind of started the whole like we think she's involved because she wouldn't have been acting that way in the beginning. She would have been more helpful and forthcoming. She wouldn't have been so cruel to our family, I guess. You know what I mean? She should have taken it seriously.
Yeah.
But she pretended to be Matthew on his phone for 3 to 4 days, replying to messages as Matthew.
Cussing his family out on his Facebook, like on messages and everything, just trying to figure out where he is.
So after we did our foot search, we're like, we're going to go to Kylie's house to get more information so we can figure out where he is. Because we've been searching for hours. It's cold. We want to know more. So we showed up to her house. It was only me and Megan, Megan's fiance, and a cousin and a friend. So it wasn't like a big group of us. It was just a couple of us. Me and Megan walked up to her door and knocked on the door. She wasn't home. And next thing you know, she comes up in her car and
was there. My fiance was talking to her brother, and while my fiance was talking to her brother, trying to figure out what was going on, she came flying up and she pulled a bat out of her trunk. And she called the police on us because we were all there trying to find Matthew. So we all just kind of got in our cars and flew out of there and went down to the gas station, where police obviously seen us. They came, talked to us, and that is finally how we got Matthew reported literally as missing, was her calling the cops on us.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
But also, they had Matthew's phone since he went missing all the way until Saturday. Kylie had it. And then Sierra, the other girl my brother was seeing, supposedly stole it off of Kylie. And then this guy named Tyler stole it off of Sierra. And then he gave it to my brother's friend, Trish. And Trish kept it for over a week and wouldn't give it to us. And when I finally got the phone in my hands, I spent 3 days going through it. Everything I could think of. He didn't have stuff set up because he was fresh out of prison. He spent 10 years in prison prior to all this. He was only home a year. He didn't really have his life together. He was trying to get his life together. So that's what he was doing, was working and stuff. And it was just, he didn't have anything set up in his phone. He had a Cash App card, a Venmo card, and then like his credit cards, IDs and stuff in his wallet. And what's funny is Kylie said she didn't have anything else of his, but in July she called me and said, hey, I have his wallet. And it had everything in the back pocket.
She said there was nothing in there, but Sammy
She said
found
nothing was in
everything
there.
it.
But I have it back there. It literally has his social, his Venmo card, Cash App card. He didn't have a bank card, his ID, his COVID vaccination card, all that. And it's just, she didn't give it to us for months. She didn't tell us she had it. So it was just, we finally got the phone. I spent 3 days on it, and we're like, we'll turn it over to the police. Supposedly they found something in it and was able to get a warrant of Kylie's house and her car and her phone. But she had 2 phones, and they could only get a warrant of 1. But they didn't find any belongings of my brother at her house. So how the wallet showed up, I have no idea.
Yeah, because this was after they took everything out of her house. Yeah.
That's strange.
But the biggest thing, too, is when the day my brother went missing, we're not even sure if it's the date he went missing at this point. But the date that she said he went missing, she was caught at the church breaking in on camera, thinking my brother was in there holding the door shut. And the cops busted down her door the next day. So she's just a troublemaker. And
Yeah.
Now, one question I had after watching, why a cemetery? Like,
she said it was just the spot he said stop.
Yeah, and he just wanted to get out, and the story she told me was, he was paranoid. He didn't want to go back down to town. He wanted to not get back in the car with her. He had left his phone down at the work site with his boss, and he accidentally took his boss's phone, and he was too scared to go back down with her to switch it out. So that's when she went down and switched it out, and came back after leaving him at the cemetery, and he had completely disappeared. And that's when she busted into the church thinking he was in there, but he wasn't, and the church caught her on tape doing that. So like the next day they came to her house, saying, this is breaking and entering, and then she told the story, but they still didn't take like, oh, well, Matthew's missing. Like, why didn't she say anything then? You know what I mean? Still, because it was the next day. So
and she didn't say he was missing?
Yeah,
She never said anything till we reached out to her and asked her. And it took a 4-hour conversation for her to say, I don't know
yeah,
where
she
he is.
basically was just calling everybody off Matthew's phone that day, like calling his mom, saying, your son's the reason I got this ticket, he's gonna pay it, all this stuff. And like, she never really told us he was missing until his friend was like, hey, I think something's up, I haven't heard from Matthew. And that's when we asked her, like, what the hell is going on?
And the day my brother went missing, she got a ticket. We don't know the exact time frame that she picked him up and dropped him off at the cemetery, but she did get a ticket around noon in Peters Township in Washington, going 51 miles over the speed limit. So how she got to go free, I don't know, but she also was going to pick up an ex-boyfriend from rehab.
Wow.
So it's a lot to unload.
It's a lot
And it's
to
a
unload.
lot-
Yes, it's a lot to carry on. But basically, the story she's been sticking to is she picked him up from work that day. He was paranoid. He tried to get out at the cemetery that's down the road from this cemetery. There's still like the same owned cemetery, but there's two separate ones.
Yeah,
And we he tried to get out at that one, but she kept going up the road, which is up there on Dally Road, and there's the highway that's right down from it, the toll road is 43. And he got out of the car there and realized he didn't have his phone once again. She went back, switched it out, came back, he was gone, all that stuff. But that's basically the story she's been telling us from day one. That he just
But
refused to get
It
back in
took
the
her
car.
a long time to get the full story to us.
Yeah.
It was pieces at a time.
And then what's weird too is every time we do talk to her, she's always like, "Oh, I remember this. Oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember this." Just adding pieces to it,
Oh, and last fall, she spent a month in the hospital, was able to sober up, and came out of the hospital and said Matt's body is on so-and-so's family's property in West Virginia. So we found so-and-so's property and had the police search it with us and found nothing. But why are you saying stuff like that? And now she's back, I don't know if she is now, but she was back on drugs and pretty much not saying nothing.
Holy shit. That really.
And the West Virginia police have done more than the California Police Department.
Okay, and you guys are in Pennsylvania.
Yes. Which is California, PA is right down the road from me.
Because we keep
But-
hearing he's somewhere in West Virginia, like in a mine in West Virginia, buried in West Virginia on someone's property. It's always West Virginia, and we just look up any property we can in West Virginia. I was searching abandoned mines for days, looking at old maps. Like, it's absolutely crazy. But it's always coming back to he's in a mine or something.
And then we heard a sighting of him in a town near where he went missing. We spent the entire summer searching down there every single day, day and night. And it's a very dangerous.
We were searching homeless camps in the woods, old mines.
And it was all women. It was all women.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
The cops wouldn't help us.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I mean, I don't know about there, but well, I mean, we have a missing person case similar here, and we're in Michigan, where the guy moved up from Ohio he found out he had a daughter that was 16, so he came up to get to know her, and the mom was married. The guy was very jealous, and it was kind of the same thing. She was using his phone, making dental appointments for him and herself, and then when the police were kind of onto them, they fucking hightailed it to Florida. And then the mom and the daughter both had the same type of rare breast cancer. The daughter survived, the mother did not. And everyone thinks it was the mother that did it, but had her husband's help. So it does kind of sound a little bit like that, like with the phone. And but I will say, in this particular case, the police, for the mother who is out of state, they've been helpful to her. But there's a lot of cases around here that, you know, they don't really spend the time they should. And that is one of the reasons why we do have multiple episodes of the podcast that are dedicated to missing people.
Right.
Because, and this is kind of one of the reasons, because yeah, we talked about it, but we don't have a dog in the fight. So that's why it was really important for me to see if you would come on,
Right.
so to get that side of that story, you know, because you guys do have a lot to lose or gain. And I mean, hopefully it's gain, and hopefully there was a sighting and it was him, and you know, you can bring him home. But
Exactly. We have some stuff behind the scenes going on in the works right now that we don't want to expose too much, but we do have a good reward for information. You know, anyone that wants to come forward, we have a reward for just accurate information that leads right to him, or anything like that. You know, anyone that has anything, just contact his mom, which is on the missing flyer, or California police.
okay.
And also, another thing I wanted to add is we did get our own cadaver dogs. We had someone do it for us, but we gathered them together to search the area my brother was at. And they got his scent from the end of the road of the cemetery, across the highway, down the road, and down the road next to the other cemetery, and lost the scent. He was never in the cemetery.
Yeah, he was dropped
He
off
was
at the
just on
gravel
the
lot
road.
right across. It's like a parking lot. And it's where we
So
held
did
like
you
our memorial, like remembrance, not a memorial, but like a remembrance of him missing and stuff. And
A
where they
vigil.
covered one news thing for us. That's where we usually go to pretty much start any search, you know?
Right. Now, do they possibly think like he got in someone's car?
That's
That's
what
what
we're
I-
thinking. Who knows what happened at that point?
The
We
detective
don't-
on the case thinks that he ran through the woods not knowing where he was going because he was so paranoid, and there's a lot of steep cliffs, everything like straight down the railroad tracks, all that. But we've tried to search everything we can. We had people out there that know the whole cliff that walk it every day to look at the old mine, and they've never seen a thing. You know what I mean? Like, people say they have cameras on their property. There's a guy that owns a farm behind us said he never saw a thing. So he had to have gotten picked up and taken somewhere. Nobody's telling us who did it, because there's multiple people definitely involved in this. Not just Kylie Sierra. There's multiple.
Wow.
And we think it's part of a bigger thing, and that's why the cops won't put any
Yeah, we
effort
think it's
in.
part of a bigger, scarier thing, and that's why they haven't really done too much.
We spent a lot of time, I think there was like 7 of us women, as soon as he went missing. We just did so much research. I mean, you know, women doing research on social media.
Yeah.
There were 7 of us. We were talking to everybody, and we found so much information about people that you wouldn't even believe. And we just found information about like the most random person ever, and it's just crazy
Yeah,
that
a lot
it
of
ties
people have
in.
gone missing down there, and it's all connected to one person, but it's hard to prove that when the one person is in cahoots, you know?
Yeah, kind of untouchable.
Yeah.
So it's a bigger situation, and I think that's just why we're not getting help.
Yeah, because I talked to a lot of families that had missing people down there, and all of their stories are the same. I'm not going to share their stories because it's their family and there's some stories to tell, but just a lot of missing young men down there that they just say it's drug overdose, and it's not. It's so unusual down there. It's not. It's a scary situation. And we searched that whole town. We were right next to all these people we didn't even know until after we were done searching and got all these stories. So we were like, yeah, we're not going back to that.
It was so much time. We spent all summer and all winter that first year just searching everything. My mom actually reached out to mediums, and mediums reached out to her. And I don't know if I believe that. I haven't like really seen it. So I have to see it to believe it type of thing. But like a lot of them are saying like he's gone.
Yeah. It's a lot of similar stories that we have to connect through the mediums that kind of make sense to us, but then again don't. But like, it's hard to believe, you know?
Yeah.
It's like following a shadow in the dark.
Exactly. It is. And especially if it's not something you would normally gravitate to, that it would be a little more difficult just to take what they're saying at face value.
Right.
Yeah. So, like I said, I will be sharing the flyer in the podcast group. Because, she was telling me when I do screen shares, it doesn't show up all the time.
Yeah, and another thing I would like to say is, just to get it out there, Matthew would not be missing for this long, period. If he would be, he would have been messed up not knowing who he is to be gone this long.
Right.
Literally. He just got out of jail. He is dependent on his mom, everybody. He can't be dependent on himself. He works under the table at any job he could. And he was trying to get himself together, and he got in with the wrong crowd because Matthew is a follower. He has been in jail since he was 19, and he just didn't have the right guidance coming out of jail at all. And this is where we're at, and it's just a terrible situation because now we're left knowing what happened, where is he? And, I watch true crimes all the time. I know the truth comes out eventually.
Yeah, eventually, and a lot of times it's just...
Some people just can't live with that,
Yeah. Yeah, it's... And like I said, when I saw your video with Sammy, I was like, and that's why I reached out, and
It took me 2 years to be able to make videos because it was just so much that I'm like, I need to get my mind straight on the information before I share it to the world.
Right.
So it was really hard to get it out there at first, but we have a Facebook page. We share everything on there as well. It's Where is Matthew? The Real Missing Story.
Okay.
So I'll send you the link of that page.
Okay, yeah, because when I get a link, I will make sure it goes into the show notes too.
Perfect.
That way anyone can click on it. So,
We share everything that we can on that page.
Okay.
And Megan and I run it.
Okay. I mean, is there anything else about Matthew's personality that you would like to share?
He was goofy.
He was goofy. Yeah, he made mistakes in his life, but he was literally the most genuine person. I loved him like he was literally my brother. I practically lived with him every summer. Like, he was literally a brother too. And we just have so many good memories. There's no memories with Sammy without Matthew.
Without Matt. It was always us three.
It's so fun. We have done everything. He's a good person, and I was honestly hoping when he got out of jail he would just get his crap together so he could just be a good person and experience life for what it is and not have to run.
Right.
I agree.
Because he deserved it in ways, he deserved to be free and experience life like we have, because we're all grown now,
Yeah.
He deserves that.
He just didn't have the right guidance growing up. Like Megan said, he was just a follower, but he was so kind. He'd give you the shirt off his back. He would do anything for anybody. He was
everyone's best friend.
Everyone knew him.
Okay.
He just got in with the wrong crowd and it led him down the wrong road.
Yeah, sometimes those wrong crowds just really, they can make or break a person, really.
Especially when you're easily influenced too.
Yes,
Yes.
definitely if you're easily influenced. And then like other information, like his physical appearance and all that you want to share.
6
Well,
foot.
Yeah, about 6 foot tall. He'd be 32 years old now. We're going to be 32 next year. From what we hear, the last thing he was wearing was just work jeans, lace-up work boots. I want to say like a Columbia type style boot, whatever, South Carolina boot. And he was wearing almost like a mossy oak type hoodie with like
Black.
and it was black.
Yeah,
He had
my
a hat
baby.
on and wireframe glasses, and he has a brown goatee, brownish reddish goatee, brownish reddish hair. Been 2 years, he could be looking like who knows what at this point. Tattoos on his arms. We do have pictures on our site of his tattoos. We have his missing wire. We have everything, information on there that's needed.
Okay. And does anyone ever maybe consider the possibility that he really, something horrible happened and he just fuck everybody and left?
Yes,
We've
we
thought
have
about that.
Yeah.
We've thought of every scenario. We've wired our brain.
Yeah. Because
To
we're like, did he
everything.
finally like just say screw everybody and not come back? Because he always comes back, you know?
Right.
But
it doesn't-
that's
it's
not Matthew.
Exciting, not even to his son, is like just not him.
Yeah, he has a 14-year-old son.
Okay.
So he went to prison when his son was 2. So he missed his whole life. And that's all he wanted to do was come home and be a good dad.
Okay. So then
So he
that's
wouldn't have
highly
left.
unlikely then that he.
Or
just-
maybe he did try to leave, I think, and while he was running, something bad happened, and there was no way he could get a hold of anybody. So whatever happened, happened. Because he didn't have his phone, he didn't have ID, he didn't have nothing.
Hmm. Hmm. So, what do you think is the most likely scenario?
I personally think he's gone.
It's been too long. Way too long.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I hope, for your guys' sake and his and his son's and your mom's,
Yeah.
that that's not the case. Because no one wants that to be the conclusion of this.
Right.
No, I'm hoping I just see him on the street one day and he doesn't know who he is. I'm like, let's go home. For real.
Yeah.
I hope that every
would
day.
You would hate to say, like, I really hope he has amnesia, but really, in this case, it's kind of the best case scenario.
Mhm.
Exactly.
That, he doesn't know who he is or who his family is.
Yeah. But at this point, we just feel our hearts that he's not coming back because he would have been here already. Especially
We
for his
also-
30th birthday.
For the whole first year that he went missing, we called coroner's office, the hospitals, everything, every
All the way to
day,
Kentucky.
just to check if they have any John Does.
Wow. That's got to be a hard call to make because did they ever say yes?
Some had John Does, but we would have to explain his appearance and never matched, not even to a T. Like, nothing matched
Anytime
at all.
there's human remains, anytime there's a body, we just call to get his name in there. Even though he is a nameless, so any DNA that comes up, he will come up. But we still call just to make sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I probably would too. Like, that's just something you don't want to necessarily leave in someone else's hands. You want. Yeah, I get that. Wanting to be on top of that and.
Like, I feel like if we would have to go and identify anything, it would be Tammy, because I feel like nobody would be able to handle it.
I'm in the medical field, and I know it's going to be hard if it's my brother, but at the same time,
Yeah, it needs to
nobody
be.
else could handle that.
Yeah.
Right. Now, because I've seen the TikToks and the videos, the one with the two-tone, does anyone hear from her? The
No.
two-tone hair?
Her girlfriend reached out to me on the video, the first video I made where I screenshotted her Facebook, asking me to remove her name off of it and blur her picture out, which it's public on her Facebook, so I can put it public on TikTok.
Yeah, that's right.
She said, stop bashing my girlfriend. She didn't do anything. She was cleared by the police. But the police told us they still haven't questioned her.
Fully.
So
And we heard that she was talking about Matthew in jail, saying weird stuff.
She spent a whole
These girls
2
do want
years
to
in
move on.
jail.
Yeah, I get these girls want to move on from the situation, but no matter what goes on in their lives, they're going to be connected to my cousin missing. They were the last people with him, and no matter what, it's going to be coming back to them unless they give us something.
Exactly. And to me, it goes back to the phone, and then you said when she got sober,
Yeah,
she
exactly.
had said, West Virginia. Now, is there a specific area in West Virginia?
Yeah.
It was a certain person's house. She gave us a name of a person's family member's house. And we
And it
found
always
it.
goes back to these people.
Oh, shit.
And
Which
we
is
don't
part
want
of
to
a
put people's name in it
bigger-
because these people are big, and we're not trying to get a lawsuit, you know what I mean?
Right. Nope, I get it.
We can't prove it without, like, evidence or...
But those people have been questioned. The thing with the police is they won't go talk to these people. They're like, oh, we won't go talk to these people. They have to come to us. That is literally what the detective told us. Then what are you doing? That's literally what he told us.
And on top of that, it's not even California jurisdiction where he went missing. At all. But Cal has the case. And state will not take it over. They said that California has to hand it over, and they refuse to hand it over.
There's zero communication between any of these townships.
Why won't they hand it over?
We don't know.
We heard the chief down there doesn't like asking for help. Yeah, it's an ego thing.
Oh,
That gets in the way of it all.
I mean, when you got, if I was a police officer or chief or captain or whatever the highest is, I'd be asking for all the help.
Exactly.
You'd think.
Oh,
Especially because his family has been literally so public with like.
Right.
And another thing is Megan and I requested to speak to the chief of California, and he set up a time for us to go down there, and we went down there and all the doors were locked and nobody was there.
We even called him, left him a message,
And he went
and
nuts.
left. And 2 hours later, he calls us back.
He called me back.
So a week later, we went up to the DA when they opened. Didn't even call, nothing. Me and Sam waltzed up there, and we were like, yeah, we need to speak to somebody and see anything about this case. Gave us the same runaround as they always do, didn't really get anywhere. We gave them some names, gave them what we knew, but that's literally the last we heard from any of it.
oh, Jesus.
And that was last year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
We haven't heard from anybody regarding his case at all.
that's heartbreaking. And I can't imagine the frustration that brings you.
Absolutely.
I can't imagine because I don't mean to tell you what you already know, but like the frustration of no help and I mean, things and things were said, but they won't touch it because of who they are and that.
Exactly. There's definitely a lot they're not telling us, but there's nothing we can really do about that either, sadly. And that's the frustrating part.
I mean, I guess just keep screaming his name as loud as you can.
We've had protests, we've had vigils, we stood in front of the courthouse, in front of the DA's office for 4 hours, asking for them to do something. Nobody would talk to us. And it wasn't a big crowd. There was like 15 of us.
Yep. They wouldn't even come outside the office if they had like a police escort walking into their car. Like, we're not gonna be violent. We just want you to talk to us and tell us what's going on.
Yeah, they could save a whole lot.
Yep.
Oh,
Right.
You know, my heart
And I don't
goes
think
out
we've
to you
had a
because I
news, I
can't.
don't think we've had a news article since his 1 year anniversary.
The vigil. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We've only had 2 or 3 news articles. 3.
2 news
The
articles, one missing thing.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it since in 2.5 years.
Yeah, and Kiara Cepeda from WPXI did an interview with your mom, and she never
And
even
never
shared. We don't
posted.
really know what happened with that.
What?
Yeah,
Never aired.
Yeah.
It was over Zoom.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But luckily for his 1 year anniversary, we did have, I think, 3 separate news stations there, and they did do a decent thing for us. So we just keep resharing that one, and we're trying to get like a memorial, like not a memorial plaque, but just like something to say, hey, this person went missing here on this day, and we're trying to just get like a little news story there, just to get him back. Also,
Yeah. Why go through a whole interview if you're not going to do anything with it?
Exactly.
yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Like I said, I can't.
A lot of it
imagine,
does not make sense.
No, I can't imagine the heartbreak and the frustration you guys are going through, and
It's
my
definitely
heart goes out to you for
frustrating.
that. And we will, like I said, we will be sharing it. I will share the link in the podcast group. I will put it in the show notes for everything. You know, anything
Oh,
to help get
Sam,
it out
we
there.
also have a documentary on missing people of America, I think it was, on their Facebook page. They did a nice little documentary with his mom, all that. We can also send that to you to share. It's a video, it's like a YouTube video type deal.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
And that's like the
anything.
best thing anyone's done, yeah.
Yeah, we will absolutely share everything. Like I said, the group, I'll share that. The articles, I'll share all that in the group. And because our episode will drop on Sunday, so I'll post all that stuff like leading up to it. So then, you know, get people to watch and everything. So, absolutely. So is there anything else that you guys would like to share? Anything else?
Nope. Just please keep an eye out for Matthew. If you see him, tell him his family's looking for him desperately.
Okay.
Anyone that knows anything, just come forward.
Now, do you have any family in another state that maybe he?
Just
West Virginia,
and then a
but
friend
very
in Kentucky.
close.
But that's it.
Okay. Okay.
And he
And that
hasn't
friend
been
in
there
Kentucky
in-
has been in contact, like, yeah, he ain't here. Florida, his baby mom's sister lives in Florida, and a friend lives down there. They've been in contact, yeah, he ain't shown up here. Because we thought he would have been trying to flee, you know, as far away from here. But he has not shown up anywhere.
Okay. Okay. Like I said, we'll be sharing everything up until it drops, and as soon as it drops, I'll send you a link for the, I don't know what streaming apps you use for music, but I can send you Spotify. That's usually the one that we get. I don't get the rest of them anyway. But I'll send that to you so you can, and the YouTube, of course. So, thank you so much for coming on and sharing all this information. And like I will tell you, we are praying for you, and you know, anything we could do, you let us know.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having us and
Yeah.
doing this for us.
You're very
And
welcome.
hearing us and getting his story out there as much as you can.
Yeah, like I said, we I would say every couple months there's a page on Facebook that we'll go through, and we'll each pick out like 4 or 5, and we'll talk about them, and especially if it's got like the write up, we'll do that, because like missing person, like I said, there's always somebody missing that person. So
Absolutely.
you know, and that's why I figured, you know, you guys being on, you're that voice. And like our voice is shit really when it comes to a missing person. So, you know, but again, like we're super passionate about missing people and hoping someday to see found safe.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
or just closure
Yeah.
for us at this point.
I'd take anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just keep in touch, and any new thing that, any new articles or anything like that comes up, let me know. I'll make sure they get shared. And,
Perfect.
Thank you ladies so much for taking the time out to do this. I know you're a third shifter, Sammy, so I know.
I have not been to bed yet, but that's okay.
She's a trooper.
Yeah. Well, she was a third shifter, so sometimes finding the time to do this was a pain in the ass. So I hats off to you for I did third shift, so I know them days of not going to bed to get shit done. So
Absolutely.
So thank you, ladies, and we will do all we can on our side.
Thank you.
so much.
You're welcome.